Aloha, beautiful family. Luminosity Crystalline here, and I'm just doing a little update about our 4th of July invitation for all of us to stand on the nodal points on the grids together in the churches around the planet to officially declare our unified field as one human family on the earth, transcendent of borders and boundaries and countries and what's that word? Patriotism to countries, all those things. The invitation is on the 4th of July, and I explained this in another love stream, and we're going to do a podcast on Friday with two amazingly epic beings, Nick de Zwart and Kurtis Turner. And so I've got the link for the event page for that podcast. It will be Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 a.m. Saturday Australia time. And so we are inviting you to join us for a conversation to share more about the power of the grid lines and working with the grids on the planet, and why we would go to the churches on the 4th of July, which is a day of the declaration of sovereignty and independence for a country called United States of America. And we are suggesting that we up-level this beautiful day of independence and make it a family event on the planet that unifies all of us as one gorgeous, amazing human family. It is said that for us to move into our galactic, cosmic, celestial heritage, that we must have a council on the planet that represents all peoples. What better council to represent all people than all people representing themselves as sovereign? And so the world that we exist in is, if we look at it from the level of the grids and the ley lines, wherever grids cross, wherever lines or meridians cross, they produce a vortex. And as I shared before, churches, religious temples, spiritual temples are placed on very powerful nodal points on the planet. And so if we think of the planet like this motherboard, then we can align ourselves with these powerful places on the motherboard. And because we live in a consensus reality that is formed from pure source consciousness, we have the capacity to very easily shift our external reality to unify us beyond all fictional boundaries and borders. And so this is what we are inviting on the 4th of July, and why we are inviting people to stand on the areas where there are churches. So we will explain more of this and more of our true declaration of sovereignty on the planet as we go through this great human galactic graduation, and how to empower ourselves with the energy of the physical reality, using our bodies and vessels as pure vessels of pure source energy. And it's almost like, and we can explain this in a really fun way, it's like if we knew that the game board at some point was going to change, and we all left ourselves something special, like a treasure. Our ancient future self left it there for us to come back to at a certain nodal point in time. We say that that nodal point in time is the 4th of July, 2021. And so we invite everyone to unify and make this great declaration that we are a global family. The old structures on the planet, as we know, are all dissolving and #done dissolved away. And it is for us to claim our sovereign right in every way. It's like no one does this for us. We have to participate at every level of our ascension on the planet. And so Some good cowboy music going on over here. So this is the day that we are inviting our global family to understand that in a way we can stand together and consciously claim that unification. Is called ninth wave in the Mayan teachings, ninth wave of unity consciousness. And again, because this reality is created by thought form, this is to share in an empowering way how we can collectively do this all together. It's basically like, for those who have worked with the grids and ley lines, we have an understanding of the motherboard or the hard drive of the planetary consciousness. And so this is a call out from one of the grid workers on the planet who has done extensive work with the grids of the planet, to understand, never underestimate the power of a simple ceremony to transform your reality in the blink of an eye. That's what happens when we participate in grid work. And so on this 4th of July, we are inviting our entire family to unify by going to these nodal point places on the planet. And how do we know where they are? It's very simple to know where they are, because the churches, religious structures, and religious spiritual temples sit on these vortex locations. So it's kind of like we're aligning ourselves with the fiber optics, a really clear location with the fiber optics of the planet, to send out a call out signal. Let's just say we're going to call out the call out signal called contact. And what is the real contact that is occurring but the contact between us and the soma of ourself, the wholeness of ourself? We're like calling in the wholeness of the self to say it's game over with the old game that we were playing on the planet. And when we have a collective, it's programmed in the genes. When the 60th seed ignites, if this love stream is inspiring, please share it. That's called gifting. When the 60th seed ignites in multiple beings, it's the end of the world as we know it. This is basically the call out signal to ignite the 60th seed, to say, we understand, we get it, we created all of this, and now we're standing together as a unified field in ninth wave consciousness, because we're ready to take the quantum leap into a new reality in the blink of an eye together. So more information will be shared on the podcast on Friday with Kurt and Nick. And so I've put the Facebook event page there. Please share it out. And it might seem simple, and often the simplest things are the most powerful. And as a longtime grid worker working with a planetary logos and the motherboard of this planet, we can say that this is a way to flood massive light into the motherboard of the planet for quantum shifts. So nobody has to work hard to change it. We're using ourselves as a piece of human technology. The greatest technology ever created was the human, the natural divine human, because of the beauty of the human heart. And so we'll share about how to bring ourselves into coherence, 0 point, and just stand on these places on the grids. And the other thing to share is July 4th in the quantum, time isn't real. So July 4th, 2021 becomes a nodal point. It's like a point on the motherboard. And so if you hear this love stream after the 4th of July, you can still quantumly connect your consciousness into that nodal point on the motherboard. And so it goes out like a wave in time. And we would say that this was a call out from our ancient future selves, from some moment in future time that we all agreed to meet on this day, the 4th of July, the day that is signified by the Declaration of Independence. And what are we claiming independence from? Not something outside of ourself or someone, We are claiming independence from the co-creation, the collaboration of duality, the polarity game, all of those things. We are collectively claiming our sovereignty, our independence from the role that each one of us was playing in the play. And so anyone, any shape, any size, any color, any bloodline, anything that anyone has ever done on the planet is irrelevant, because it's all a play. So everyone can participate in this together from the place of the quantum together. The 60th gene is about the transcendence of morality, moralistic beliefs. And that's what it means when the 60th CD ignites in multiple beings, because we raise our vibration to realize there's one of us here. We created the game, we collaborated, we co-created, we participated together in duality. And from the place of ninth wave unity, we are one. We are all the same. And so this is why this is such a powerful call out to everyone, every being, living being on the planet, for this day of declaration of independence through these nodal points, these powerful nodal points that have already been laid out for us on the planet. You definitely in your neighborhood, there's churches, some kind of religious structure, spiritual temple within your vicinity. And if not, then go to your nature temple and join us and make the declaration the same. The reason we're inviting the peace with the churches, as we shared in the love stream the other day, like Einstein said, eventually we will have to transcend our belief in religion and our belief in science for something greater. And that's the transcendence into unity consciousness, which means we're all one together. We're one with the source that gives us life, and we're all one together. And so it's a very powerful day. This love stream is inspiring. Please share it. That's called gifting. And as we say, if you, even leading up to the 4th of July, you can go do these ceremonies on the grids and connect it in energetically. We are powering up the motherboard. So we love we thank we. And the link for the podcast on Friday is in the notes here. I've also posted on my Facebook page. It will be 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Friday, the 2nd of July, the podcast to share more about this, and which is the equivalent of 10 a.m. Australia time on Saturday. So we love we so much.